Hi, if you're a Taurus born April 20th to May 20th, what can you expect for the month of May 2017? Let's tune in and find out. So you're going to need some patience in the beginning of May just to have things come together. You're ready, but not everybody else is ready. So there's this kind of like just waiting, waiting. Some of it may have to do with relationships where maybe you're ready to move forward. Maybe you're ready for a stronger commitment in your relationship. This could be business or personal. And the other person just is not quite there yet. I do feel like as May opens up, there's going to be a greater sense of achievement and being able to bring this relationship home, so to speak. So just have some patience, Taurus, and I think you're going to get your way. All right, well, let's go ahead and look specifically, and let's start with those of you interested in your relationships, those of you that are coupled and in a committed relationship. Let's look and see what May has in store for you. Okay, so if you're already in a relationship, you're already coupled, this is going to be, there may be some tough conversations that are had this month, maybe some disagreements. I'm really feeling a lot of stress around the heart and just kind of struggling to kind of get what you want. This does feel like it's more in the beginning of the month as opposed to the end of the month. It feels like things do kind of open up and give way. So I feel like with that, we just had a new moon in Taurus on the 26th of April, and that might have brought some of these things to light, these differences of opinions or the ideas about handling a problem. This could even be a child that you're both concerned about and you both want to handle it differently. It could be a situation like that, or you have difference of opinions about where to move or where to live or when to sell your house or the type of house you want to buy or the price range. So there's these differences of opinions about big life issues. And I'm also feeling like I'm in a hurry to do it, right? There's this pressure, this internal pressure to make it happen. I do think things will settle down. There's a full moon on May 10th in Scorpio, and I actually think that's going to have things kind of come to a head so you can make decisions. You want to be kind of careful around that time because there's a lot of electricity in the air, and I don't want you to like put your finger in the socket and get electrocuted. So sometimes when we get upset, we say things we don't mean, and the next thing you know, the fight's escalated and you've got a bag packed and you're going to your mom's, right? So some silly scenario like that. It doesn't need to get that bad. So you just want to be aware around the Scorpio full moon that you don't want to say things that you'll regret, because there is a lot of intensity in that energy around that full moon, and you don't want to bring it to a head that way. So the best thing is kind of like chill out, avoid the conversation, talk about something else, make an agreement, let's table it for a couple of days and we'll come back to it, and then things are going to open up. By the end of the month, there's just this real freedom to move, and things will just actually universally move forward because a lot of the retrogrades will really be done and finalized. Even though Mercury retrograde ends May 3rd, it takes a week or two for it to actually, in this experience, to keep moving forward, as well as we also recently had Venus retrograde, which is about love and communication with our relationships, our personal relationships, and that'll be fast forward by I think like around the 20th. So the end of the month, there's got a lot of openings for relationships. So now, for those of you that are single, I know you're going, why would I want to be in a relationship after what I just said? Trust me, there's a lot of good. So let's see what can happen for you if you're interested in getting into a relationship. The biggest thing is just to know yourself so that you don't set up false expectations. So the biggest thing that you want to know for yourself coming into May is, be true to me. Is this work for me? Does this not work for me? Set up the game so that you're being authentic and honest, and you're not being a people pleaser, you're not trying to tell somebody what they want to hear, but it's really about knowing yourself. And if you know yourself and you're able to have clarity around that, you're going to have an opportunity then to be able to be seen and somebody to be able to accept you. Now here's the other thing, is if you're inflexible, right? So let's say you know yourself and well, wow, I definitely don't want that, but does that mean I can't be flexible, right? So you want to know whether or not you can have flexibility. And if you can have flexibility, you might be able to attract somebody that can accept you, and that there's these adjustments that you're both willing to make, right? If you know absolutely not, I can't adjust, then just know that there may be some people that will just pass on you, and that's okay, right? We're not, as a soulmate situation, there's a very special sort of energy that has to happen. And so you'll know yourself whether or not this is a situation or this is an individual that is worth you being a little more flexible. All right, so just have that awareness. Knowing yourself is really going to help you attract the right person. I really see more opportunity at the end of the month, like around May 25th, there's a new moon in Gemini, and that's a really fun, loving kind of energy. And I really see new people entering around you, a very social time. Of course, here in the United States, we have the long Memorial Day weekend, and so there's usually a lot of parties and fun around that time. So I definitely feel like that's a new time for you to meet new people and to really attract a new relationship if you're interested in one, for those of you that are single. Okay, so let's look at your money now for those Tauruses interested in your finances. Well, I feel like you have some money stored up, but I do feel like you're going to have to be putting out some money, but it feels like it's payment, and it could be something that you bought on payment 6 months ago and now the payment's coming due. It could be that you had a loan and it's ballooning and you need to get the financing together. The good news is I see that you have the money for those things, that whatever it was, whether it's you've been saving up to buy a car and you need it for the down payment, or the down payment for a house, or even for plastic surgery, I see that you have the money there. And if you're going that direction, by middle May, you're fine for any cosmetic surgeries. You're good to go because we have Venus moving forward and lots of clarity. So by the end of May, if you have something scheduled, enjoy it. It'll be fine. Now, so let's see what else regarding your money. So there's a lot of money. There's a lot of things for you to cultivate and for you to generate in terms of money. And I'm really seeing almost like, you're a farmer and you've got all this crop in front of you waiting to, be harvested and tilled and just the process. So I really see that you're working hard, that you've got a plan, that there is a project for you to be able to work on that's going to be profitable. I feel like whatever it is you're working on, it's going to, there is some richness to it. There's some depth to it. There's an opportunity to make some solid income, some money. So definitely, I feel like your money is going to improve in May. And I feel like it's, for a lot of you, you're in control of it. So you can work as little or as much as you want, or as hard or as easy as you want. I feel like there's more flexibility. Well, sometimes you're forced and you just have to work so hard, and other times there's a lot more freedom. I feel like this is one of those months we have a lot more freedom. The work is there, but maybe it's not as much pressure on you to get it done. So I feel like there's more room or more opportunity for you to kind of go have a good time and then come back to work. Work is always going to be there. So I do feel like this is one of those months where that's true. Work will be there, the money will be there. If you're willing to put the time in, you'll make the money. If you need some time off, you still have some money. So I feel like money is good for you this month, and I'm not worried about it. Let's see anything else unexpected with money that might show up this month. Okay, there may be an opportunity for you to invest in something or someone. It may come up towards the end of the month. It does feel like it would be a good investment for you. That doesn't mean that, you just go blind and just, here's my money. Do your due diligence, check it out, because the way, sometimes the way the universe works is like nothing comes around for months or years, and then all of a sudden 3 people come to you with new projects, or 3 people come to you with new ideas, or your broker says, hey, I got these 3 great ideas, which one do you want? So it's kind of like that. It's like, I was prepared to invest, but now which one do I invest in? So if you're in that sort of situation where you're not quite sure where to put your money, but you have some money that you want to invest in, there's a feeling sense that this is good, I always ask the universe, show me, give me confirmation which one of these is the best one. And you can do that by just, saying, okay, if I'm supposed to invest in the stock market as opposed to real estate, then help me see some things in the news or through my friends in the next couple of days that says this is a wise investment, and then let it go. And what might happen is you may be watching a news, you may be watching TV, and all of a sudden there's a commercial that comes off that somebody says, hey, there's a real estate investor in town saying this is the best time to invest in real estate. And then you get a phone call from your friend and they says, hey, did you read in the paper that real estate sales, like this is a really good time to invest, right? So you get two different sort of confirmations. And so when that happens, you let you know, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be investing in real estate as opposed to the market. So it's things like that. It's just kind of showing up, and then you see 2 or 3 confirmations, and then you go, okay, that's how I know. Now, if you get conflicting and you get one thing that says the stock market's good and the other one that says the real estate's good, and you go, well, how am I supposed to do it now? I've got a yes for each of them. It lets you know 2 things. It lets you know most likely you're still sort of attached to one or the other. There is some preference that you haven't completely let go of. And if that's the case, then just go with the preference, especially if you've gotten 2 yeses, right? If, let's say, you've gotten 2 no's and you don't know which one you want to do and you're just scared, now the universe is letting you know, hey, you're really tight and we can't really get information to you because your ego is so strong. In which case, then you can defer to the experts around you, to defer to friends or family, or to that person that you always call and you always trust, who's got some good insight, right? So there's always a way. And then when you let it go, you can really, at the end of the day, you should be able to tell in your body if it feels right or not. So these are some ways for you to be able to look and see that there could be a good investment for you. So I do see good investments for you at the end of May, opportunity for you to be able to put your money someplace that's going to support you long term. Okay, let's see if there's anything now about your health for Taurus. Yeah, I feel like some of you may have, just be struck, with the allergy, all of a sudden my head hurts, my eyes are itching, my throat is scratchy, I'm tired. So if you have the seasonal allergies, more than likely you've already dealt with this before, you know what to do. So take care of yourself, pace yourself, move yourself through May in a way that is not going to tax your system. And I really just feel like May, you need to take time for yourself. And not in a bad way, but in a good way. Being aware of your own energy, being aware of how much you need, not burning the candle at both ends, having to work all day and party all night. You want to be careful of doing too much of that, because I just feel like there's, you're a little bit more sensitive this month, especially the first half of the month. The second half of the month, it feels really great, solid. I feel like you're back in the saddle again and you're in a good space. It's just the first 2 weeks I feel a little less energetic, let's say, okay? But I do feel like that can clear up just by you pacing yourself and knowing what you need. Okay, let's see if there's anything unexpected for Taurus for the month. Okay, so there may be somebody that you thought was your friend or you thought would stick up for you, and they really don't. So it may come back to you. That could even be a relative that has been saying some kind of like sharing your personal information, and then adding their assumption to it, right? Like such as, oh, well, I heard they were getting divorced and, she moved out of town and maybe she's pregnant, because she's gone, right? Like embellishing the story. So it feels like your personal business, that somebody out there could be sharing your personal business and is embellishing it. And the good news is that you're gonna hear about it, you're gonna find out about it, so that you can stop it and address it. But it does feel like there's some disappointment with somebody close to you that is saying some things that are just kind of like out of turn about you or about your situation or about your life. And it doesn't feel like it's done with malice, like they're trying to get at you or trying to take you down. It feels like it's just gossip, right? It just feels like it's gossip. So, as long as there's human beings, gossip will exist. It doesn't make it right. But just so that you know it wasn't done intentional, you can address it and nip it in the bud. So it happens quickly. And it's not something that does a lot of damage, so I don't want you to stress or worry about it. But just have this awareness that there is going to be something that's kicked up that you would prefer not to have out there, and that you just have to kind of like make an adjustment with it. All right. Yeah, the other thing is, the good thing about this is that there is actually, like, it's actually good that that information comes up, because it enables you to put a stop to it. It enables you to set up some parameters in conversation with some people that you hadn't even thought about having to do or needing to do. So it takes up a level of your ability or need to communicate what you want and what your expectation is of others. And while that can be uncomfortable for a Taurus to have to speak up and say, hey, this is what I need, or this is what I want, and not all Tauruses, right? Because it really just depends on your other signs, whether you're somebody who's really sensitive, or you're an Aries who's really strong and you really exactly know what you want and you have no problem saying it, right? So depending on your other parts of your chart is how you'll respond to this sort of energy, whether you'll want to go in and take off somebody's head, or you'll really just be calm and be able to say, hey, that's not cool, and it's not true, right? So there's this opportunity for you to be able to clear it up, especially because it's not completely true. Okay, so let's see if there's anything we can end on a positive note, if there's something great that's happening for you this month. Yes, there's actually, especially the middle half of the month, there's a lot of opportunity for you to really enjoy, to slow down, to be able to have kind of some leisurely days. And I think we talked about this in the beginning, where there's work and you sort of feel like, oh, I can take today off, I've got some time, I'm not feeling stressed or pressured, the work can wait. So I feel like there are these moments this month where you can sort of relax and not feel so pressured that you have to kind of keep the nose to the grindstone and do everything. So there's just more downtime, more freedom, more ability to say yes to having fun, and more people to have fun with. So I do see a more social month for you, having more fun, getting out, and not having to be so tied to work. All right, Taurus, happy birthday. Have a terrific birth month. Enjoy yourselves, and I hope that you have a wonderful May, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month. And if you like my intuitive astrology, please click like, comment below, and share it with your friends. And I'll see you again soon.